My name is Steve Rodriguez. This is my wonderful wife, Kim. We've been married 24 and a half years, going on 25 in January. We met at Pepperdine University in Malibu, California.
Neither one of us grew up knowing the Lord. Both of us went off to college, and both of us found Christ through our experience at Pepperdine University. We met through a mutual friend, gonna go study for a test. John said, "Hey, my buddy, my roommate, he's gonna be pitching today in the baseball game. Can we go study?" It was a rare day in Malibu where there was a little rain, and we got rained out, and he went down to go talk to his roommate to just figure out logistics of how to get home, and Steve was standing on the field, and that was the first day we met, standing at the Pepperdine baseball field, ironically.
But the truth is, I was looking up at her. She had a red sweater, white pants on. She's looking hot, not gonna lie to you. So that was the first sight, yes. In 1992, we won a national championship at Pepperdine. Had an opportunity to go and play professionally. Made it to the big leagues with the Boston Red Sox in 1995. Played pretty much from 1992 through 1999 professionally, and that's when I became a college coach as well in 1999. You know, our spiritual journey, we went through a lot of different churches. We went through a lot of different pastors, just trying to really find something that really connected with us. We had good friend groups and good people that we hung out with, but in regards to what we have here in Waco, there was nothing to really compare to that.
So in 2014, it's time for our daughter to go on college trips, and she wanted to check out Baylor.
And so I brought her out here in October, and we fell in love with the place. And I remember calling my wife, and she remember asking, you know, what do you think? And I told her, I said, I could totally see our daughter going here. It is an absolutely amazing place. She's all in.
And Nolan and I went to church that morning, and the pastor gave this amazing message about while you wait, God prepares and works for you. And we left. Our son had just finished 8th grade. He was 14 years old. And we walked out of church that morning, and he looked at me and he said, "You know, Mom, last year, Dad couldn't go anywhere else. We couldn't move." He said, "But I really feel in my spirit, God's gonna have us move somewhere." And 6 hours later, Baylor University called. So when we arrived in August, Steve had been here for the summer. He had checked out some churches in the area, narrowed it down to a couple. And the first one I went to on his short list was Antioch. And that Sunday, Jimmy was speaking. But the coolest part was that he was talking about Isaiah 54, 2 and 3, which was a scripture that's foundational now that I know to Antioch, but to us as a family, it's important too. We have a Post-it note from over 20 years ago in our Bible, and now to show up at our new home where we had felt God had called us to, and go to church and have that be the first message we hear here in Waco was pretty phenomenal. So he came home from work one day, and I was like, "Babe, guess what? Got this call from Antioch, and they really love for us to go to this small group, and if you don't like it, then we won't go back."
And you know, in my head, I'm thinking, "Oh, great! I get to talk to people again, just like I've been doing here for the past several months, and just rehashing baseball careers and the team and stuff like that." And what was great is that wasn't really any part of it. We got there, and they were genuinely interested in us. Interested in who we were, our journey here, our walk with the Lord, but being able to come here and being held accountable by gentlemen when you get a phone call and their first question is, "Hey, how's your marriage?" That's where your conversation is going to start. That's going to be a pretty great conversation. Then how your kids, and it has nothing to do with work, it has nothing to do with our team, it has nothing to do with anything. And that for me has been an amazing blessing, just simply because being able to be held accountable by a group of peers, and at the same time using their wisdom, using their knowledge to better yourself, and to be able to walk through this life with that group of people is an absolute blessing. And I tell people when they explain, "Oh, I'm busy, I don't know if I can do that." There's times when I come back, I remember we came back from Kansas State. I landed, I jumped in my car, and I headed straight to Life Group. It's an opportunity for me to grow and to be better. And life is so busy with your family and your kids that you wake up and it's 3 months later, it's a year later, it's 5 years later, your kids are now graduating high school, and you just don't realize that what have you done to better yourself that might actually help benefit your family as well. Antioch to us has been transformative in regards to our time here in Waco, and not just for us, but for our kids. Our daughter became a believer, and our son has an opportunity to go through the youth life group, it's really amazing watching your kids flourish and become amazing human beings. You need to be able to have a handful of people. They need to be able to tell you the truth, and you need to be able to take it. And that's what this life group does for us. Is it brings accountability. It brings you to the forefront. Whether you're struggling with any number of things, you can call anything that you're struggling with. We're going to sit here and we're going to battle through it. And that, for me, is what's important.
I think there's a deep loneliness in our society, and I think that it's because we have all these relationships, but we aren't known. And I think if you find yourself feeling that way, I think you use that as your impetus to say, that's God tapping me on the shoulder saying, come into this group and be known, so that in time you feel known and loved. So when you walk in the room, somebody can tell, like, oh, you're a little off today, what's up? But you don't find that in casual relationships. You find that in deep, thoughtful, intentional, challenging relationships. I think that's what Life Group does.